And welcome to Roadside Notes. I'm Christopher, the Route 66 chaplain, and these are readings from the Faith and Good Courage Journal found at faithandgoodcourage.com. These are stories from the road and for the road, a little grace for the miles ahead and, well, reminders that hope still travels with us. This from my November 20th, 2025 journal post, the Faith and Good Courage Mission Statement. The mission statement for Faith and Good Courage was born, like most good things, over coffee. I was halfway through a lukewarm refill when a businessman at the next stool looked up from his laptop and asked me what I did for a living. I told him I was a chaplain, the wandering kind, and that I help people find hope on the road. He nodded politely and said, "That's your mantra then." I laughed, not unkindly, of course. I said, "No." I said, "It's not a mantra." Kind of gave me that sideways look, and he said, "Then what is it?" I took a sip, set my cup down, and said, "It's my mission statement." I told him how a motto is like a spark, something you say to keep your spirit lit when the road gets long. A mantra, though, is more inward. It's what we whisper when the noise of the world gets too loud. But a mission statement is different. A mission statement is not about how you feel, it's about what you do. It tells the road which way to go when the map folds in half and the lights, well, they start to fade. He leaned in a little, his eyes softened, and he said, "What's yours?" I smiled and said the words that I've carried for, well, a few years now. I didn't fall from grace. I took a detour. God handed me the keys again and said, "Drive, heal, and tell them what I've done for you." He sat back and, well, let that settle in. The diner hum filled the silence. You know, plates clattering, coffee brewing, old songs leaking through the speakers. After a minute, he said quietly, "That is bigger than a mantra." "Yeah," I said, "it has to be, because for me, Faith and Good Courage is not a brand or a podcast. It's a ministry on the move, a living, breathing mission that shows up in truck stops, in church parking lots, and every diner that still serves pie warm and coffee strong. Roadside Notes and Healing Highway are part of that same story. Reflections, reminders, a few honest laughs for travelers who just need to know they're not alone on the road." He smiled, the kind of smile people make when something in them finally exhales. He said, "I like that. You're not just talking faith, you're driving it." He reached for his wallet, dropped a few bills by my cup, and he said, "I think I'll cover this round. Consider it a thank you for the reminder." I laughed and told him he didn't have to, but he just shook his head and he said, "No, I do. You bought me a lot more than coffee today." He gave a small nod, the kind men give to each other when words run out, then walked out into the sunlight. I watched him through the window as he paused by his car, looked up into the sky, and smiled again before getting in and driving off. I stayed at the counter thinking about how many of us confuse our purpose with our plans. We chase deadlines, titles, or the next place to be, but a mission is different. A mission doesn't depend on the outcome. It depends on obedience. It's about showing up when the world isn't watching, about living in such a way that, well, people recognize grace in motion, not perfection in progress. I thought about how many stories I've heard from strangers who never try to be heroes. They're just trying to do the next and the right thing. That's the heart of Faith and Good Courage. Ordinary people carrying extraordinary grace mile after mile. In my roadside reflection, sometimes the clearest way to share what you believe is not through preaching or planning. It's through living it out loud. Faith does not always roar. Sometimes it drives, heals, and tells the truth it has lived. And that is more than a mantra. That is a mission worth following 1 mile at a time. And when you do, don't worry about how far you've come. Just keep telling the truth you've lived. and trust that someone, somewhere, is finding their own road home because you did. Travel well, my friends. Have faith and good courage.